Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at ATEEZ's Not Okay official music video. I do believe this is a Japanese release, which is kind of fun, which means that some of my Japanese older reactions of ATEEZ are going to be coming out at the time of me recording this, which is super dope. I, at this point, have seen pretty much everything from ATEEZ, B-sides, title tracks, even a concert, their most recent one. Most of that is still on Patreon, which is why my YouTube looks pretty deceiving, at least at the time of me recording this. So pretty pumped about just looking forward to seeing what we have in store with ATEEZ. This is technically my first comeback, I guess it was what we'll call it, since I did an official marathon of all of their work. So I'm very familiar with their movement quality. I do know with their Japanese tracks, I don't really believe that they go for, they don't have dance practices for them as much as they do with their other tracks. So I'm not really holding out for it, but I know there's going to be a live performance at some point that we're going to take a look at. So I'm pretty pumped. Let's go ahead and check it out. There's those computer screens. I'm assuming oversaturation. Wake up. What does this choreo remind me of? Cool. There's a choreo they have that's kind of marching, militant, staccato. I can't put my finger on it though. Woo! Oh, that was a cool masking effect in the mirror. Oh, they flipped it. Normally Mingi starts out the second verse, but it's Hongjun did. I like it. Very declarative, right? Wow. How they have that phone, it's like it's attached to his hand. He cannot take it off. Ooh! Single tear. Oh. God, I hope they do a performance version in the black and white. That would be sick. There's that. That reminds me of their concert. All that mess right there. Nice. Woo. Okay. I got not okay. Easter eggs always. There is a certain part of their choreo that is bothering me a lot that I cannot remember what it reminds me of. So I'm gonna go digging real quick before we take a look back at the music video. Please hold. Went digging. It took me a second, but I got there. Holla holla, the marching section there. It reminds me similar to that. The marching of the chorus, at least in just the staccato movement quality of it. Yes, definitely not the same thing, of course, but taking a look back here, let's see how many Easter eggs I can find. First thing, trauma, noun, a deeply distressing or disturbing experience, a personal trauma like the death of a child. Medicine, physical injury, rupture of the diaphragm caused by blunt trauma. Ooh, okay. So they described trauma. Then you have masked individuals. Now, I don't know which world we're operating in. I do feel like they're operating in worlds, like the Halazia world, potentially, didn't they? Didn't they hint at that for their upcoming comebacks? That I don't know. Oh, Japanese tracks I don't believe fit into the lore as much as their main tracks do, but you let me know those who are ATEEZ. The running away, but it definitely has a very nice kind of gravitational pull effect going to the back. Super dope. Missing, afraid, alone, and notice that this hand is like glued, a contraption to this phone. Crazy. It's showing potentially, like, I guess what you see on the phone can be traumatic, right? Or just the screens and the addictiveness that comes with that. And of course, we have a little bit of masking effect, a little like what is it, like a burn filter to burn transition to get somebody masked in and masked out. You have a little voice sound wave in the back. That could be a hint to another comeback in the future, something like that. Like the dig through, the boom and the boom. God, I hope they do this live, which of course I know that they probably will, so I can really take a look. I think it'd be dope to see a performance version of this. This looks like people are coming to get him, or because with the green, you're noticing the green, there's always people coming after them, but whenever you don't have the green involved, it feels like they're not, right? I don't know. They're doing a really interesting job with that. Interesting choice how he has it flipped over. Little caping, accent of red looks cool. I feel like, what is that game? Is it similar to the game of Go, right? Because I just saw it on Street Dance China Season 4. Interesting too that he has a little watch right here. I did see the little word wake up. That has been an ongoing trend throughout their stuff. City wants some noise. We hope for a brighter day. A rose blooming in a gray city. There's a little masked figure. Lots of masked figures just hopping around, masking around. That's a little creepy if you ask me. A little paranormal. I will wake up the whole world. Let's keep it loud. Some more. Some more. And these little screens remind me of, he's kind of trapped here. A lot of the chords remind me of Matt's, for sure. Clench your fist and shake the world. That was the girl running. It's in the little grass area too. Ooh, interesting mask cut. And then you see like more of like a green pasture. Are they dreaming? No, I don't know if they're dreaming. There's no moon. There's nothing like that. So it gets just a separate little world here. I love the choice of having the red accent at the top too. A really cool spot. This feels like a maze. Notice whenever they hit it out, rebounded in. It's this marching militant approach with this bump, 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 bump. Like it's a pulse, It's a really nice BPM where you can charge, right? Kind of feels like that. He also has a little watch on. I like the pounding right there. Great pulse maintained throughout. And look, now that you have that green, notice there's people there. So I wonder if there's a connection between the green sound wave and the individuals that are coming after them, right? Maybe, I would say Wu Yang, he really shows up in this one a lot. Like, not shows up, like he shows out. Like, I think his feature moments look really cool here. Definitely tone, sounds great to the type of track. Roar louder, raise both your hands. I love that. That was cool when they closed. It was a different member. They take it. That was the ha 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 ha. Ooh. A little creepy there. Notice that he's trying to take it off, but he can't. Yeah. I can't stand to be at someone's beck and call. Ooh, tell him. Feel sick from holding back too much. Now, this is a cool cut. So for me, yes, I'm a videographer, but more as like a hobby or for my day-to-day. Not really, I don't do as much professional work, like meaning like people pay me to do it. I do it to help, make what I do, just look a little bit cleaner, more structured, things like that. And if you notice here, how I would make this cut, remember I'm not a professional, go check out Jordan or May if you want like a pro cut version of stuff. But notice there's a mirror, good chance they did 2 separate takes. They could have tripoded it, they could have really done whatever, but notice they have this right here. They could have honestly low-key completely, this is a completely different take. You could do one of those two. Or if it's a mirror, they caught 2 different shots where he's kind of hanging out over here outside of the line. The shot in this tripod shoot, and they're getting this action here, and then they have him right here, or it's just 2 completely different shots that they masked really well. I kind of feel like it's a I don't know, it could be either. They can do a lot of cool stuff. Look at the sound wave. Sound wave has changed. You break it down, my senses are numb. I am used to the structure of Hongjoon going second in the second verse. I'm used to Mingi always going first. So it's a nice little flip-flop, but they do complement each other well in terms of tone. Hongjoon does more of a tenor representation. It's kind of like the G-Dragon top combination from Big Bang. You see Mingi and Hongjoon here. It's nice. I like that. I noticed it was a little, they did a little slow-mo near the tail end, so you had more suspension from our dancers. That was cool. I'm going to assume BB Trippin was in charge of the project for this. I like that with the mic. That's cool. Soundwave, of course, looks different. That was cool. Little glitch effect for sure. Kind of in more like that cyber, like the cyberpunk, you know, this world, that whole vibe. It's giving that energy. I don't quite know what that is at the top. I do like the little like suspension of the different things, like with the phone. I like that reflection. That was a really cool shot. That's oof, ooh boy, that would creep me out if I reacted to this knowing that wasn't there, and then seeing it here. That would catch me off guard. Like the tension there, boom, and then of course the bomb, 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 bomb. A lot of striking staccato, hitting it, boom, and then they're about to use the shoulder to accent. But notice they hit it to create tension and use the camera to allow to transition. So that's cool. This choreo does, honestly, there's a good chance that the camera work really helps make the choreo push and ebb and flow a lot more than if you just saw it as a fixed cam. Choreo probably looks fine, probably on the singability side. Nothing huge to see. They're very competent to hold it down, no problem. Jungho's also, of course, he still, needs to be very mindful of he just did recovery for his injury. So, and they're right in the middle of freaking tour right now, right? But there's that little mask effect. Super dope. Love that. You see, with a strobe light, if you have epilepsy, this is not the music video for you. This would be a really fun song to do as a step chart on Pump It Up. Not gonna lie. Single tear. You know that I'm not okay. I hope you're okay. Yo song. This was honestly, I think it's my favorite vocalization of the whole song. I'm a fan of auto-tune modifiers. I like it. Notice what he did is he took it and he allowed a moment with his hand, and it allowed a kind of a response to the shoulders from everybody around him. That was a really cool choice. The reach there, and love the suspense, and then they all travel separate ways. I like the camera following him. Honestly, making it go down ground level, but kind of arch that angle, which is really nice. Then go to a wide cam. And that shakes the world. Here we go. He's trying to resist, and there's these little creepy crawlies coming out. Look, ants, I guess, right? Cover that up, my guy. Yosang helping out Seonghwa, my guy. Shout as if your life burns away. Grab that flannel. I'm curious about these little anti-ants happening up in here. Jonghyun is very strong because he said, let's break a TV today. It's good. Drown that phone. I love it. So I love it that we're kind of breaking free from the phone, the technology. I'm assuming, beck and call. That's a very interesting point, because a lot of times when we have phones, we always feel this weird sense of obligation to always be available at all times, right? Because the power of accessibility, that's kind of a double-edged sword. There is beauty to be able to get a hold of anybody and everybody, but the downside is you can get a hold of them or attempt to do so at any point in time. There's no degree of, our patience is a lot more more thin, we're more impulsive, we assume, we have more passivity in terms of when people don't respond in a timely manner, which our patience, because it's thinner, we think timely manner is significantly shorter than it used to be. So I feel like this is a really nice kind of declaration that fits right along as like a little puzzle piece in their entire lore of like breaking free. And you know, for me, this gives, not this in particular, but their lore reminds me a lot of like the Footloose mentality of things like the arts are banned and we're rebelling and really trying to showcase and allow people to showcase individuality and artistry, and I'm always an advocate for it, and I love lores that represent it as well. So here I do appreciate, some of kind of the verbiage, at least on the English translation side, is giving sometimes we're little slaves to our phones, right? I know for me it is tricky to find a balance between work and doing YouTube and actually resting. That's a really hard thing to navigate for me sometimes because I am a workaholic and a perfectionist at heart, so that requires a lot of time on my end to navigate the balance between those things. And so I can resonate with this, and I appreciate the fact that they're making it a topic of conversation of, we shouldn't be slaves to our technology as much as we are. There is beauty. Sometimes the most intimate and most beautiful artistic things are things experienced in real life, not on a screen, which, they have a very valid point from. You can't tell from left to right. It feels like a maze. It is tricky to navigate for sure. Try again, no matter how many times. I do love that resistance. It really feels like we're setting up a very interesting story. A lot of puzzle pieces, we have a lot of puzzle pieces here, but I don't know where they all fit, and I think that's fine. Louder, roar that I'm not okay. Declare that you have feelings. I love this right here, the dun dun dun. I can tell Baby Trippin did it because they do a lot of these kind of like percussion pushes, and then you have a lot of this kind of sway usage of the torso. I'm always a fan of it. That's why I see it. Yeah, looks good. Goodness, for me, I'm like, how do they have time for this? I'm assuming they had this done before they started the leg of their tour. Raise your voice and scream some more. It feels like they're all running at them. I love that. This kind of felt like a little magazine shoot. Sometimes when agencies, they do like photos of their artist, kind of felt like they were on site for one of those. And notice that they rushed in, and we're right here to Not Okay. Do we have a little vocal excerpt? We don't. Normally for a lot of their music videos they play like some form of audio that intrigues us to want to know what's happening next. This one doesn't sound anything like what Crazy Form had at the end of their track, which means we probably have something else coming in the future. Out of any group that I have reacted to in my entirety of Just Reacts, now it's still pretty young compared to other reactors, they've had the most comebacks by a landslide, and I don't mind it. I think it's great, and it's really cool to be able to now be very aware of so much more in an active comeback in comparison to whenever I was just starting out. I didn't know any of their names about 2 months ago, so this is really cool that we get to experience this here in real freaking time. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see me actually do a dance analysis through ATEEZ's discography, I do have quite a few of those available on YouTube, but I have so much of it, meaning all of it, on Patreon. It should be in order of how I reacted to them. I've been having such a wild time with them. We've had some highs, some lows. We've had some great choreography moments, some not so great choreography moments, movement quality clicks, things like that. And I've been thoroughly enjoying it alongside the ATEEZ that have been a part of that journey with me. At this point, I know all of their names. I'm pretty familiar with the lore, not as deep to where I can pick up one little nugget and go, that's connected to XYZ. I know enough though to kind of, ballpark guess, which I feel really happy about. I do understand the moon and the, if it's a crescent versus a full moon, then the what's it called? It starts with the letter C. It's a little time capsule thing. Looks like this. I can create the shape, and there's a lot. We have a lot left to unfold with it lore-wise, which is kind of fun. And I do know the Japanese tracks don't really puzzle piece as effectively as some of their main tracks. So all that to say, I'm having a blast. I hope you've had a blast. Once again, my name's Jess. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.